So Man United were crushed in the second leg at the Nou Camp, losing 3-0 to Barcelona. Sam Peoples from the United Peoples was there. I speak to him now, slightly hungover and hopefully reflective, in a reflective mood after that game, because ultimately Man United were totally crushed in that game. So I just wonder, the general feeling on Twitter, and I wonder if it's the same for the fans who are out there, is one of understanding that Man United are a lot further away than maybe some of you guys had hoped. I think going into that game, there were dreams, wasn't there? There was hope, but there wasn't expectation. And on the other side of it, there's a feeling that you're a long way off. The morning after, the night before, how are you feeling about the game? Talk to me about the game, first of all. What are your thoughts on it?
I mean, every United fan was hoping that wasn't going to happen, but it happened. And it was a humbling experience. Past that first, look at the first 10 minutes of that game. Marcus Rashford hit the bar. We had that VAR decision that went in our favour. And that was it. Past that first 10 minutes, Barcelona were in complete and utter control. It was properly men against boys. It was a team ready to win the Champions League against a team hoping to cause an upset, which is not really what Man United are kind of used to. In terms of the tactics for the game, for me, I felt like Man United were kind of caught in between two tactics of being a counter-attacking side, but kind of having to go for it as well. Was that disappointing to see that? Would you agree with that tactically, that Solskjaer, for one of the first few times probably in his career so far, got it wrong? I personally expected Solskjaer to set up with a 5-3-2 with 5 defenders to sit deep and hit on the counter-attack. But he didn't. He played with Martial, Rashford and Lingard. He played with a 4-3-3 and he played aggressive. And United in that first 10 minutes were very aggressive. But I said it before the game, Manchester United needed to take their chances against Barcelona. And we had that chance with Rashford. But Rashford hit the bar. It's as simple as that. United, it's fine margins when you play at the elite top level. And
when you're playing sort of a percentage game, aren't you? I think there was an understanding that Barcelona are a better passing side than you. Of course they are. It's kind of ingrained in them as a football club. And Man United have taken a few backward steps and are now trying to move forward. But it was... When it is like that, you have to take the chances, and when you don't, then you're going to get totally undone by a moment of quality. And Messi delivered, didn't he? What was it like being? Was there a tiny bit of you that was like, I'm kind of pleased that I'm here to witness Messi?
Right. There's a little teeny tiny bit of me that's happy that I've seen Lionel Messi doing this thing live as a person. But 95% of me is really angry that Manchester United were their own undoing against Barcelona. Barcelona are a wonderful team. But the goals that they scored against us were because we made mistakes. Ashley Young had about 6 opportunities to clear the ball.
Yeah, for the first goal, yeah.
He didn't clear the ball. And as soon as that first goal went in, the mood changed in the away end. The mood changed among United fans. And after what was quite a positive first 10 minutes, you think, bollocks. Barcelona have scored. And you think, from this point, where are we going to go? And then David De Gea made an absolutely unforgivable mistake.
Yeah.
David De Gea, for me, the best goalkeeper in the world, let a ball slip through his fingers. And it was Messi's right foot. It wasn't even a hard shot.
Talk to me about Ashley Young, because there's a lot of heat going his way for being captain. And, when you're given that captain's armband, obviously, the spotlight is on you. But he didn't totally ask for it. You have to be given it. Do you feel like... I feel like, look, he is out of his depth. I think that's understood now. But do you think there's also an element where people are looking at him and unfairly criticising him because he's got the captain's armband? Because there's other players out there that you're hoping are going to step up and be a leader, and it hasn't really happened. Look at the 2 centre-backs once again. You go, look, these guys, they want to be the leaders, but they haven't got it in them. And then in terms of world-class players, you've probably got 2 or 3. Rashford's too young to be that guy right now, and of course he needs to get the ball. But people like Lingard, people like Pogba, people like De Gea, those guys let you down last night.
Yeah, no, you're spot on there.
in that United needed leaders to stand up last night. And I said it before the game. I said, look, Paul Pogba, he can let games pass him by. And last night was a game where we needed him to take it by the scruff of the neck and say, look, I'm Paul Pogba. I'm one of the best midfielders in the world. I'm going to control this game. Yeah. And he did. But Paul Pogba was not the big problem last night. And it really genuinely was Ashley bloody Young. How that guy is, I mean, look, we're talking about a 30-plus-year-old converted right winger that's playing at left back, not even right back. Not his strong foot. How he's fucking starting for Manchester United now is beyond me. Absolutely beyond me.
Yeah.
And it's a sign of where United are as a club. United have to do a lot in the summer, and everybody knew that. It's just that
this is really put into focus, isn't it? I think this game to see the gaps in the levels of the two sides. That back four, that entire back four. If you're going to say Lindelof go play right back, that entire back four needs to be shipped out really and upgraded. So for Solskjaer, there's I had a little reaction video on my channel, and there was a few people straight away going, I don't know why we gave the job to Solskjaer. Like, it's all that stuff that you're going, wow. Like, I thought this might come in a few months, but you're doing that now. We're going there now with Solskjaer. How do you feel about the transfer window and his position within all of that?
For me, this is the single most important transfer window that Manchester United have had since Fergie retired, other than the one that David Moyes completely and utterly balls up, the first one. Manchester United now are in a position where we've got a manager who has the fans backing. Everybody believes in Solskjaer and the direction that he can take this club.
Yeah.
But we need a sporting director. Solskjaer is not capable of being in control of Manchester United as a football club and controlling every single thing to do with the football club. He needs somebody alongside him, between himself and Ed Woodward, to control the club properly. That means bringing in that sporting director, just the same setup that Bayern Munich have, Ajax have, Real Madrid have, the same setup that you get at the elite clubs that United are desperate for. And if you get that, this summer could be the summer where United properly get rid of the dead wood that we don't need anymore in this team, and we bring in the right players that fit the vision of the club.
Because it's not, do you know what? It's not, sometimes people go, look, I think I heard Robbie Savage saying something ridiculous, like they need 12 or 13 players. I don't think it's not that bad. I think it can be, because sometimes you've seen that with Virgil van Dijk. You can bring in one or two players and they can make such a difference to the rest of the team. It can raise the level of everyone. It really is, it feels like it is kind of, it actually could be just 3 or 4, because someone like Luke Shaw should be, he should be the left back for Man United for a good few years. So it's not totally, it's not a total mess. So final one of that team, because people will remember this fixture for more so than other games that you've lost, the games against Wolves or whatever. People are going to remember this one. Who in that starting lineup, if you're an optimistic Man United fan and you're going to be winning the Premier League title in the next 3 years, or getting to a Champions League final in the next 3 years, who in that team will be playing in that Champions League final? And who will be playing that Champions League final? Do you think who's good enough to take Man United to that level?
I think that's the horrible reality. If I was to name them now, I would name David De Gea. Absolutely, for me, still the best goalkeeper in the world, but he's been poor this year. Form's been strange. I would keep Luke Shaw in there. I personally think Victor Lindelof is a very good centre-back, but does need a leader alongside him. I would get a new right-back for Manchester United. I would keep Paul Pogba in midfield, but then Fred and McTominay, are they good enough to win the Champions League for Manchester United? Question marks there. And for me, the only attacker that I would be absolutely certain of keeping in there is Marcus Rashford.
Wow. Okay.
I mean, things can change. Things will change for Manchester United. And I don't know what's coming around the corner, but we've got a manager in charge now in Ole-Gunnar Solskjaer who truly understands the club. And that means that if we do make new signings, it won't be another Di Maria. it won't be another Sanchez, another big name that doesn't suit United. Whoever we sign in the summer should suit United and be the right sort of signing. And I hope that happens. And if that does happen with Solskjaer in charge, who knows what can happen next year. But we've got a lot to catch up with Liverpool and City.
Okay. Sam, thank you, mate. I know you're hanging a little bit. Go get yourself some water.
My throat is dying.
Exactly. If you haven't checked out Sam's channel, then please do so. United People's TV, cracking channel, over 100k subscribers.
Go on, boys.
So you know it's good. So go check it out. Go subscribe to that channel. Let me know in the comments below who, if Man United were to get to a Champions League final, who from that team that played last night, who's good enough to still be in that team in 2 or 3 years' time? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe to Ball Street. Make sure you check out the podcast this week, the One for the Weekend podcast, and we'll see you soon.
Go on, podcast.